consecrations to armed pull-ups. What started with a few shots has become a deadly game of cat and mouse spanning multiple states. Chicago's 600 and Baton Rouge's NBA/4KT soldiers stand ready to crash out over respect, with both sides refusing to back down. And with Memo's DM leak and Ben's cross-country manhunt, we ain't seen nothing yet. This is the story of how the Memo 600 and Ben 10 beef is worse than you think. The spark.
Got it. Y'all niggas the going on, nigga. Niggas know where I'm at. Stop asking questions, nigga. You know where the I'm at. Talk about dope panic. Get up dolly, nigga. Big pole on me. Know my body, nigga. Big pole. Stay right there. Nigga, I'm not going nowhere. You talk about? Stay right there. That be. Stay right there. I am gonna stay right here. I'm staying right here. Muhammad? Drop fast. I'm in a rush. Get me the
The streets ain't been the same since September 20th, 2025, when a single Instagram story lit the fuse on what might become Drill's feud. Memo 600, already established as one of Chicago's most feared voices, had been taking subtle shots at NBA YoungBoys camp for weeks, clowning their legal troubles and reposting footage of Ben 10's past brushes with the law. But what pushed everything from simmering to boiling were rumored leaked DMs showing Memo reaching out to Ben 10 for a collab. Memo tried linking with 10 on a track, talking about Chi and BR could slide together without beef. Ben 10 curved him quickly, telling him he talked too much and needed to stay in his lane. Instead of falling back, Memo spun it and dropped the screenshots with a caption saying Ben 10 was scared of real and even tagged Young Boy for max disrespect. The post went crazy, hitting 1.5 million views before Ben 10 could even clap back. Ben 10 clapped back fast on a now-deleted IG Live, flashing what looked like a Draco. He called Memo a store runner, not a shooter, and dared him to pull up if he was really built like that. Fans screen recorded it before it vanished, blasting it all over socials. What started as net talk instantly leveled up, with both camps' allies starting to circle, turning the IG drama into street tension. By September 24th, Memo took things to another level, announcing a BR takeover on Snapchat with Baton Rouge geotags. Ben 10's cryptic response, a single emoji. While Memo's camp tried playing it off as promo, insiders knew armed entourages were already mobilizing. Memo posted from a Baton Rouge Waffle House, captioning a selfie by calling out his op, Ben. The geotag showed Segan Lane, a main commercial strip in YB territory. In other words, Memo was bringing Chicago energy straight to Baton Rouge soil, knowing the stakes. When Ben 10 caught wind in Houston, he flipped straight into hunter mode. Streets say that by 4 p.m., he was wheeling up for business, asking Memo if he still wanted to while boarding a flight to Baton Rouge. Touching down around 6, he linked with 4 KT soldiers, piling into blacked-out Tahoes draped in Never Broke Again gear. He went live from the airport, making it crystal clear. Memo was outside, and it was either link or get linked. The trail locked in on Juicy Crab, the same seafood spot Memo had flexed in his stories. By 7:45 p.m., a rumored dashcam clip from one of Ben's trucks showed the pull-up rattling speakers while Ben scanned the scene. He sent a masked runner to press the valet, but the nervous worker admitted Memo had already dipped minutes before. The move was surgical, but the target slipped. Memo had indeed bounced 20 minutes prior, tipped off by his team. He reportedly updated his story, and his live stream from the getaway Escalade showed he got scared as he checked his rear view constantly, though he tried masking it with tough talk. Back in Baton Rouge, Ben's crew circled the block multiple times before leaving, drawing attention from local police who noted suspicious vehicles, but made no arrests. By 9 p.m., rumors swirled that Ben 10 doubled down with proof of his pursuit. A photo of the empty Juicy Crab booth where Memo had just been, captioned that he missed him this time, but wouldn't again. The post exploded past 2 million views within hours. Meanwhile, Memo, speaking from a safe house, hopped on X Spaces to drop a freestyle mocking Ben for chasing ghosts and calling 4KT all talk. Thousands tuned in live, with Chicago allies like T-Ski and Boss Top joining the call to stack on disses aimed squarely at 4KT. Fans flooded Reddit with reactions to the Memo and Ben 10 clash. One user wrote, "Last dude I'm playing with is Ben 10. Another Redditor added, "Crazy Tim probably got never even knew existed trying to step on him." Street soldiers. Behind the social media flexes stand two men whose reputations weren't built on streams alone, but in trenches where loyalty costs lives and respect is earned through action, not bars. To understand why this beef runs deeper than most, you gotta know who Memo 600 and Ben 10 really are. Not just as artists, but as street figures whose words carry weight in neighborhoods where consequences are measured in caskets. Memo 600 emerged from Chicago's notorious South Side 600 block, a territory firmly under Black Disciples' control. He ain't just another drill rapper. He's a certified member of one of drill's most respected and feared collectives, the same 600 that gave us L.A. Capone, Rondo Number 9, and CDAI. Rising through O-Block circles alongside fallen legend King Von and aligned with Lil Durk's OTF movement, Memo built his rep on authentic street cred before his music ever touched a streaming platform. His breakthrough tracks like Get Up Craig and Pistol Totten didn't just rack up plays, they documented real beef, with ops knowing his threats weren't studio fabrications. By 2025, Memo was pushing 500,000 monthly Spotify listeners, cementing himself as more than just Von's associate or Durk's soldier. His style carries everything that made Chicago drill a global force. Thunderous 808s, relentless flows, and lyrics soaked in the cold reality of city survival. But what separates Memo from countless other drill voices is his willingness to back his talk, something his ops discovered the hard way more than once. Across state lines stands Ben 10, a 25-year-old Baton Rouge native whose loyalty to NBA YoungBoy transcends music-business relationships. As one of YoungBoy's closest confidants in the 4KT organization, Ben 10 isn't just adjacent to street politics, he's allegedly knee-deep in them. While his own music under the Ben 10 moniker has gained traction with tracks like Set, it's his reputation as 4KT's enforcer that commands respect in Louisiana streets and beyond. Street whispers and court documents have linked Ben 10 to some of Baton Rouge's most high-profile incidents, including alleged involvement in the 2018 rival rapper G Money, though no conviction has ever stuck. His ties to the TBG conflict, Baton Rouge's longest-running gang war, position him not as some internet personality, but as a soldier whose movements can trigger real violence in multiple cities. The beef between these two isn't happening in isolation. It's the latest chapter in a blood feud between Chicago and Baton Rouge drill scenes that traces back to 2021, when Ben 10 disrespected King Von posthumously during social media exchanges that quickly spiraled into diss tracks from both cities. As an OTF affiliate and Von's associate, Memo absorbed these shots by extension, biding his time while focusing on his own career trajectory. That changed in early September 2025 when Memo entered a clubhouse room hosted by Chicago influencers and took shots at YoungBoy's legal situation, quipping that YB was snitching on his own energy. For Ben 10, this was a direct attack on his mentor, the man who brought him from neighborhood anonymity to nationwide notoriety. What makes this clash especially volatile is the money behind the madness. After their first exchange, rumors say that Memo's SoundCloud streams and Ben 10's Patreon for uncut street vlogs shot up. In the drill economy, beef isn't just ego, it's currency. Every diss, every live, every pull-up turns into streams, subs, and shares. That creates a feedback loop where the more reckless the move, the bigger the bag, pushing both sides to up the stakes just to stay relevant. Both men hold weight far beyond their own names. Memo isn't just Memo, he's 600 O-Block, and a living link to the Chicago drill machine that reshaped hip-hop forever. Ben 10 isn't just a hothead with a Draco, he's NBA/4KT, a southern juggernaut with YoungBoy at the helm and roots running deep through multiple states' street economies. When either one moves, whole organizations feel the tremor. What starts as personal can morph into gang politics stretching across state lines. Backing down is nearly impossible when you look at their origins. Memo was molded in Chicago's South Side, where weakness gets you erased and clout is more valuable than cash. Ben 10's stripes were earned in Baton Rouge's ruthless environment, where a YoungBoy cosign doesn't just open doors, it locks you into a duty to ride for 4KT's name, no matter the cost. For him, defending the brand is personal and political at the same time. This ain't just pride, it's economics, territory, and drill politics bleeding into real life. When Memo shouted his BR takeover, it was a direct challenge to a city street order. When Ben hopped a flight back, it wasn't only about honor, it was 4KT's ironclad rule. Disrespect on home turf doesn't slide. The beef sparked debate across hip-hop forums. One user commented, "Memo shouldn't say a lot of shit, but look where we are." Another Redditor said, "Ben 10 for gang, though not made." Timeline tactics. The beef between Memo and Ben 10 didn't spark out of nowhere. It's the latest chapter in a saga linking Chicago and Baton Rouge, a war that's already left bodies behind and reshaped drill history. To understand why this clash hits different, you gotta rewind to November 6, 2020. That night, King Von was gunned down outside an Atlanta hookah lounge after running into Quando Rondo, NBA YoungBoy's close ally. Even though YB wasn't on the scene, the streets saw it as blood on his camp's hands. Von wasn't just another rapper, he was O'Block's heir, a proven stepper, the face of a new drill generation. Losing him left a wound Chicago still hasn't healed. Lil Durk, Von's mentor and big homie, carried that pain straight into the booth. On the flip side, Ben 10 didn't play peacemaker. All through 2021, he doubled down, with rumors saying he dropped several disrespectful posts about Von's and making sure O'Block knew he wasn't backing off. That's what turned him from YB's little bro into a frontline soldier in the interstate conflict, putting his name on Chicago's radar as a direct op. The tension hit a boiling point in August 2022 when Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pob, was in Los Angeles. Prosecutors now claim Durk's camp orchestrated the hit, a move that left him staring down for higher charges that could end his career for good. The optics were wild. While Durk fought for his freedom, YoungBoy walked free and back on tour, flexing wins that only deepened the divide between Chicago and Baton Rouge. By early 2023, the war wasn't just about Von, Durk, or YB anymore. Rappers from both cities started picking sides, turning it into a full proxy clash between OTF/O'Block and NBA/4KT. Memo, even when politics inside OTF had him distanced from Durk, never switched up his Chicago roots. Ben 10, on the other hand, stepped deeper into his role as one of YoungBoy's most aggressive enforcers, ready to ride for 4KT's name across state lines. That's why Memo's BR takeover announcement cut so deep. It read like an invasion, a Chicago rep planting a flag in enemy soil. And when Ben 10 mobilized a convoy the second he touched down in Baton Rouge, it wasn't an overreaction. It was business as usual for 4KT, who've built their whole rep on zero-tolerance responses to disrespect, especially when it comes from the Chi. The September 2025 standoff marked a dangerous evolution in drill beef. What used to be handled in diss tracks and Instagram comments now looks like real hunting expeditions, with crews crossing state lines to track each other in real time. It echoed the 2023 incident where YB allegedly greenlit a pull-up on a Durk affiliate in Atlanta that nearly turned a mall parking lot into a war zone. What makes this timeline especially dangerous is the built-in cycle of retaliation. For the past 5 years, every diss has triggered a clapback, each one louder, riskier, and closer to bloodshed than the last. So when Ben 10 teased his rumored Memo Run diss with full production details, fans knew it wasn't just promo. In drill, diss tracks are often preludes to action, the soundtrack to moves already in motion. Cops are clocking the same thing. Chicago PD reported a huge spike in gang-related tips right after the Memo Ben 10 exchange, while Baton Rouge police scrambled to respond to multiple false reports of shots fired in the very zones Ben's convoy had passed through. Even if Memo and Ben 10 avoid pulling triggers themselves, the ripple effect is real. Followers eager to prove loyalty often turn online disrespect into offline chaos. And then there's the money. Violence fuels the business. After Von's murder, Durk's streams spiked into the stratosphere, while YoungBoy flipped the beef into a sold-out tour. The latest skirmish shows the same trend. Memo's SoundCloud numbers jumped, Ben's Patreon grew, and both saw their names trending across platforms. The irony is brutal. Peace might be good for survival, but war is better for business. In drill's twisted economy, every provocation comes with clout, clicks, and cash attached. As September 2025 wound down, neither side blinked. Memo's circle floated plans for more Baton Rouge trips like unfinished business, while Ben 10 dropped cryptic posts that felt less like closure and more like a rain check on the hunt. Both moves underline a harsh reality. This beef isn't just about two rappers. It's become welded into their identities, their crews, and the reputations of entire cities. Backing down now would mean forfeiting honor, clout, and credibility. What makes this stretch especially chilling is how familiar it feels. Von's death was preceded by months of online escalation. Lil Pob's followed a series of long-distance provocations. History shows the script rarely changes. Disses lead to hunts, hunts lead to bodies, and bodies lead to more retaliation. Unless something breaks the cycle, the Memo Ben 10 standoff is barreling toward the same tragic destination, with the added risk that innocent people could end up caught in the crossfire of reputations too heavy to retreat from. Deeper waters. What makes the Memo 600 and Ben 10 conflict so combustible isn't just ego. It's the way their beef serves as a stand-in for larger wars stretching across gang ties, regional rivalries, and the underground economies that thrive beneath Drill's surface. This isn't two rappers throwing shots, it's two networks colliding, with fallout that threatens to ripple far beyond them. The Chicago Baton Rouge pipeline runs deeper than most outsiders recognize. Memo's 600 block maintains tangled connections with STL/EBT, who've carried historic friction with NBA-linked sets like NBA 3-3's Circle. When Ben 10 was rumored to have a hand in G-Money's, the impact wasn't confined to Baton Rouge. It sent waves through TBG and Glock Boys, eventually to Chicago drill culture. King Von's Took Her to the O slipped in pointed references that only sharpened the divide between the two cities. By 2025, the tension had its own soundtrack. Entire SoundCloud playlists popped up dedicated to Chi vs. BR diss tracks, with Memo's remixes over YoungBoy instrumentals fueling the online fire. The money tied to this feud is staggering. YoungBoy's $25 million yearly streaming pool bankrolls a massive legal and street defense system, while Memo's clash-fueled merch push allegedly cleared $100,000 in just 1 week, according to leaked Shopify receipts. Federal heat has shifted this from drill theatrics into something far heavier. FBI task forces are reportedly tapped in, with wire intercepts said to have caught Ben 10 making direct threats against Memo across state lines, a detail that could flip a rap beef into full-blown RICO charges. On the other side, Chicago's gang injunction policies keep Memo at risk even without a trigger pull. Simple association with 600's documented activity could have him boxed in legally. The Baton Rouge stunt leaves Memo exposed to retaliation, while Ben 10's Baton Rouge stomping grounds remain vulnerable to traveling Chicago hitters. Neither has the luxury of safety, and in that kind of pressure cooker, striking first can start to look like the best defense. The ripples keep spreading. Quando Rondo's silence is being read as strategy, with complex reporting on leaked signal chats hinting at coordination between his camp and Ben 10's security. Back home, Memo faces his own cracks. Emerging voices in Chicago's RPT gang are allegedly calling him too soft post pull-up, a jab that could corner him into escalating just to reclaim his name. YoungBoy may be physically locked down by house arrest, but his reach is anything but limited. Word from his circle is that he's sanctioned a proxy response track, with snippets already floating online showing bars that allegedly name-drop O-Block addresses. In Drill's coded language, that's not just music. It's a GPS-pinned threat to Memo's foundation and anyone still tied to those blocks. At the same time, there are flickers of peace building. On September 28th, Baton Rouge mediators pulled together nearly 200 people in a forum streamed to 50,000 viewers, pushing a from beef to peace narrative. But the backdrop is grim. Rap-related already up in 2025, and the broader climate feels like it's tipping toward a national flashpoint rather than a local resolution. The money problem makes it worse. Every spike in views or subs acts like gasoline. Memo's streaming boost and Ben 10's Patreon bump after their clash created a straight-line incentive to double down. In this ecosystem, walking away isn't just hard. It costs you credibility and cash. Legally, the storm clouds are thickening. YoungBoy's active RICO probe could splash over to Ben 10, while Memo wrestles with Illinois statutes that treat even digital ties to gang life as grounds for prosecution. What started as a clash of egos is now shading into enterprise-level liability, with both sides risking the kind of federal takedown that ends careers and lives long before bullets do. If you like this video, click one of the windows on either side to watch a video similar to this one.